I'm Bobby J. Welcome back to the show. So as you can see behind me, we got the 04 hooked up to the dump trailer, and we got the 22 hooked up to the 30-footer with the JCB. Now, what's a little different than maybe the normal setup I have is I've got to run 2 rigs to be able to do some dump trailer work. Now, if you happen to watch the last episode, you've already got a heads up on what's going on. But if you didn't, if you missed that, this is what went down. That is a wood grinding son of a gun. Actually 105 acres of almonds coming out. Maybe tomatoes next? I don't know. We haven't decided yet. Who's this guy? What's he doing over here? What's he doing? What's she doing? There he comes. Got himself a tree or two loaded, huh? Hand it off to his buddy over here in the Hyundai. Look at the radiator fan on that sucker. So there you go. 105 acres of 20-year-old almond trees, and they are coming out, and we are not going back in with another crop of or a new planting of almonds. And what you see there is pretty much a standard procedure on how to get rid of a dated orchard, which is pull them out, grind up those big piles, and then what they do is they come in with spreaders and spread all those grindings evenly across the whole field. And then if you're coming in with to plant a new orchard, then a lot of times what you'll do is you come in with like a D10 or a D11 caterpillar, and you'll rip 5-6 feet deep. And that has, with a slip plow on there, slip plow is kind of important too, because then that allows a lot of distribution of all those old chips and everything that can really kind of flow down with that slip plow and everything. Now, for us, now this orchard, we didn't farm this. It is family-owned property, but long story short, a different farmer wound up farming it because it was in control of my grandfather. And at that time, we weren't tree farmers. It wasn't what we did, and that's what he chose to do. So our plan is to not go in with almonds or any other tree at the moment, at least. And I think we're going to probably plant some tomatoes is what I'm thinking. So what we don't want is we don't want to have all those chips or grindings out there so thick on the surface because we're not going to be ripping way down deep to get that distribution. We only have to go down 6-8 inches, I believe, is what I'm being told, on the tomatoes. So need to try to get rid of at least a certain percentage of these grindings so that when we do go to spread some of them, it's not nearly as thick on the field floor. And wood can consume quite a bit of nitrogen. It can harbor funguses and stuff like that. We just don't necessarily want all of that in. Some's good. Mulch, obviously mulch is good for the soil. And so some is good, a lot, too much is bad. So we're going to probably have to have some of it hauled off. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go get some loads with my dump trailer and go spray that stuff on some roads, because it works really good as dust control. And I have a few roads that are getting pretty hammered and getting a little dusty. So we're going to spread some chips on it, some grindings on it, and clean that road up. And so the thing that I normally do, and if you followed me, you've seen me do this at least once, where I hook up another trailer. I pull doubles and put another trailer behind the dump trailer and load my old 843 Bobcat onto that trailer, go to the job site, drop off the Bobcat, drop off the second trailer, load myself up, take that, unload, however many loads that might be, And then when I'm done, come back, hook up the little trailer, load the Bobcat back into a doubles configuration, hit the road. Pretty slick. Now, the flaw in the plan of the new JCB Teleskid 3TS, it weighs literally double of what the Bobcat. There's no way that I can put this on any kind of secondary trailer. I'm not stupid. So 2 rigs, here we go. We got to unfortunately, this gobbles up quite a bit of time and a nice little chunk of fuel, and which is again why I wound up with the setup that I had there. But yeah, we're gonna go drop the JCB off with a 30-footer in the 22 and come back and get the 04 with the dump trailer, come over here, and then start making my runs back and forth, however many loads I think is enough. And the reason why I got this combo of truck, I'm not pulling the dump trailer with the 22 and vice versa, because the 04 is more than likely going to see more miles here, depending on how many loads I wind up and get. But you catch my drift. The reason is because I had forgotten about something. I had forgotten that I filled the dump trailer up about half full of garbage. So I go to hook up, happen to look in there to check my support bar, my crossmember bar in there, and I find all that garbage and remember. So what do you do with a half load of garbage? You don't haul a half load of garbage to the dump. You haul a full load of garbage to the dump. So that turned into a couple of hours of finding garbage to make it a full load of garbage. Go to the landfill, get that dumped, and I don't want to take my 22 because it's the dump. It stinks. Stuff on the ground, it stinks, okay? And the 04 had to take that, take one for the team on that. So it was already hooked up to the dump trailer, so that's what we're gonna roll with. So go get the JCB dropped off, deadhead back with an empty trailer. You know I love that. Deadhead back with an empty trailer, back to the yard, switch trucks, and go start hauling grindings. Apparently, I'm a little bit late for the party. Okay, boy, that's some pretty coarse stuff. Jeez. Yeah, it'd take forever for that to decompose actually in the ground. But yeah, all right. Got JCB unloaded. Got the old 22 there. Let me jump in that, head back, go get the dump trailer, and get rocking and rolling and actually moving some grindings. Load number one, that's what 15 yards of almond mulch looks like. And judging by the tires and the springs, I don't think it weighs jack either. And because this bucket, this is a Bobcat bucket, but this is actually a snow bucket is what they call it, but it is a 1 yard bucket. So 15 scoots, 15 yards. Well, let's roll. Go get this unloaded. Okay, it's clear. Oh yeah, this doesn't weigh hardly anything. This stuff is light. That is, yeah, I got 15 yards in there. Having these big dump trailers, man, you can really fit a lot of material in them. And that's what's kind of important when, especially a job like this, where this, I've got 15 yards in, and it looks like to me we're not blowing too bad because it's already settled down below the tops of the rails, and that expanded metal for the most part kind of helps, you know, slow some of the wind going into the trailer. And I've got someone tailgating me, so I mean, how bad could it be blowing out the back, I guess? So I don't know, we might even try an extra scoop or two on the next. Obviously I know there's going to be no issue as far as getting unloaded. So yeah, big dump trailers for the win, that's for sure. Hey, 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 hey. Well, I guess that crossbar, I guess I'll have to retract that. The stuff isn't very heavy at all, so I don't think I necessarily need the strength of that crossbar. So this is slightly dangerous. You get all that weight up there at the top, got a nice little pile back here. Got to be a little careful. Make sure the trailer stays on flat ground. All right, let me try to rock this out of here. All smoothed out. So I'm going to run over here, drop these forks, throw this bucket on, and get this stuff all smoothed out and wrap that project up. Well, that stuff was a lot more difficult to spread than I thought. It just won't roll, it won't spread, it just wants to clump. That's the problem. But I think I need to do a little more right here. I think in general though, I got a couple of ideas. Almost need like a power rake or even the mulching head, just to kind of be able to fling it and get it to move around that way. But I may even try grabbing an ATV with a piece of cyclone fence and try dragging it back and forth. See if that kind of helps move it around and get the high spots taken off. But all in all, 100 yards, 105 yards of material. And it was free. So I'd do this again, because this will control the dust out here, and this will kind of pack in pretty tight. And like I said, the main thing was dust control. Appreciate you watching. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Don't be afraid to make a comment. We'll see you on the next one.